So first, I'm Alex Martin. I'm from Austria, working for Head since a couple of years. Actually, right now, the 5th season with Ted Ligety. Yeah, starting this job in 1996 with the Austrian women's team. So I'm staying there, EC girls 2 years, and then I'm switched over to Head, working with Mario Reiter, Kilian Albrecht 2 years, then with Alan Baxter, when we had this nice Olympic Games here in Salt Lake Park City, but he got disqualified because he was on drugs. And then maybe you guys didn't know it, but he got a bronze medal, and he got this wrong big spray, and so But anyway, after that I'm working with the Austrian speed team with Hannes Trinkel, Franz Werner, Klaus Kröll, these guys. And I had a break a couple of years. Working with a soccer club, and since 2008 I'm back in this business again. So I had the chance to work with Ted. So we had so far a couple of good years and trying to keep the level high. I want to show you guys how I'm tuning skis. So that didn't mean that you guys, how you tune it's wrong. So it's just my style on tuning skis. So every technician is a little bit different. Every technician has different tools, using different tools and doing different work. So feel free, ask, and we go over it. We go first checking base bevel, try a little bit of conversation about the base bevel, how much, and then I wax the ski, and then I try to get nice clean sidewall and nice clean edges. So I go for a brand new one up. Any questions, by the way? No? Or any ideas how we do it, or which way we should go?
Where do they usually come from the factory at?
I just can talk from our side, and we did quite a good job, especially on the RD skis, so the race department ski. They are right now 0.7 all the skis in average. So it's tough. You should know it's tough to have an exact base bevel because the skis are always a little bit like this, but it should be around 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. The average what we using in World Cup base bevel wise is on the speed side changed a little bit the last couple of years. It goes a little bit flatter, but now it's around 0.7 to 1.0. So in Super G maybe down on 0.5. It depends what kind of athlete, but it's an average. I would say it's 0.7 in Super G and downhill. A couple guys are going on 1.0, but it's average at 0.7. And on GS and slalom, it's totally different. So we are on 0.2, 0.3 in slalom and GS. Talking about the side angle afterwards. I would say if you guys are from 0.7 to 1, it's fine. It's fine. Everything under 1 is good. Don't try to go flat. It makes no sense. Only makes sense for the doctor in the clinic.
That change with the base bevel you're talking about, was that with the change in the turn radius in the skis?
A little bit like this, and also the style that the guys are skiing right now. So it's more technical skiing than, especially in downhill. It's not the the old guys. They're more or less sliding the turns and be really fast on the flats. But now they start to carve. We would say they're really cutting turns now. So that's why it goes a little bit back on base level. Just talk a little bit about, when we talk from base level, it's also about structure. So we, from the head side, from head factory, we using more or less just a cross. I would say 80% is a cross structure. It depends a little bit the wideness and deep. So how deep it is, but it's 80% is cross. So no fancy trees and things in there, so just normal cross ones. And especially in slalom and GS, they care that the structure isn't too deep. So that makes the ski not feel that good, or a little bit like when it hangs a little bit when the structure is too deep, especially with the Wintersteiger grind, who has this grind is only in the middle of the skis. So like this no structure over the edges. This one is really deep, and then you can feel it hangs a little bit in. So don't try to go over a structure not too deep. It doesn't matter if it's warm or cold. Anyway, the ski is running, it's running everywhere. It's not like the old thinking. So deep structure, warm temperature, not that deep, cold temperature, things like this. So try to keep a nice, clean grinding before you put the structure on it, and then it should be running pretty well.
So not necessary to have a deeper structure for warmer snow, is that what you're saying?
So in maybe you guys, I don't think that you guys know it, but especially when we talk about the really top athletes winning downhills, it doesn't matter if it's on the women's side or on the men's side, they're more or less going the whole season on the same race. So, and it changed a lot from cold Lake Louise to spring snow in Gruden, and Gruden is really flat. And I just know it from guys in our department. They are more or less going the whole season with not with one pair, but in the race with the same ski, and they win more or less in every condition. So that's ski who is really fast is fast everywhere, and it's also maybe also a little bit a mental side of the thinking from the race. So he trusts his material and then keep going. Any questions about this? Just guys, feel free, ask me, and then go to the next step. So, how you check the base bearing? It's quite easy when you have the right tools. I don't have it, but they're in there. You can buy it over here. But I wouldn't buy it so expensive. You guys know this? Everyone should have this. And you can check it like this, or you can go over it, then at least, and when you hear this, then you know that the edges is higher than the base, so that should be not good. So it's a feeling side. So a couple of companies try to sell measure tools to measure base bevels, and we talk about $500 and higher. But we have tools like this in our factory, in our race department, and you have 4 different guys. They measure with the same tool, and you have 4 different results. Yeah, great. So we talk about 0.3, 0.4, 0.2, 0.4. So like in small, but it's so tough to handle a tool. So way easier is, normally, okay, you grind the skis, put in 0.7 in the machine, or you tell the guys who's grinding your skis, hey, make me 0.7. Then the easiest way is using a Sun Valley tool. They are really good. They are, I think, from my opinion, they are the best. Taking a good file and check it. Yeah, so this is a 0.5. It's still cut a little bit. Then it must be under 0.5. So that's the easiest way to check. And then also 0.7. So they have 0.5, 7, and 1 point, and 1.2, 1.5, I think. So just check it with the Sun Valley tool. Go over it. You don't have to go the whole way, because first you check it with this True bar, yeah. And you see it with the light, and then you check it on a place. I'm doing normally always right here. Yeah, works pretty well. It didn't cut that fat, everything, so it's good. Just that you guys know, if I have my base bevel set, never touch the base again. Never. If you hit the rock, that's why they built these machines. Yeah. Don't try it with a file, or especially also with sandpaper. Yeah, you can do it by your coach's skis or your private skis, but not with a race. Because when you go with sandpaper over it, or with a file, that's not working. That's actually not working. Just if it's a small hit, just grab a diamond stone and try to make it clean a little bit. It doesn't matter when you have in the edge a little bit of a hit in there. We don't talk World Cups side, but on a fifth level, on a junior level, on a master level, it doesn't matter. So don't try to fix it without machines.
So you don't get a 0 bevel and use the Sun Valley tool to put on, like, go to a 0.5 if you were trying to do that, or not really?
No. A couple guys doing this. No, they don't go on a 0 level. They go on a lower level, like a 0.3 level, and go with the Sun Valley tool to 0.5. Cut it down a little bit. I don't do it because I trust the machine more than my hands. So, and normally the machines are better than.
How do you get a 0.3 bevel under ski?
Oh, with the Montana tuning, it works pretty well.
They have a 0.3.
Yeah. I don't think that's necessary to have a 0.3 level for long racing, but I don't know if it works with the trim.
0.5.
Yeah, because you get in the base, yeah. So, but
Most machines go to 0.5, right?
Yeah.
that's enough. It's plenty of enough. So if I'm checked the bevel and I know it's right, then I'm just go tip and tail a little bit. I cut it down, and so you can use, if I have a 0.7 base bevel, then I can use a 1.0 tool to cut it down. I'm always going with a piece of sandpaper, because I did it. When I start learning these things, they don't have the Sun Valley tools, so I'm just using a piece of sandpaper and cut it down just on the contact points of the steel. Just in slalom, you can go a little bit more in because they are way wider. But in GS, or especially we do, because there is no side cut anymore, we use more or less the whole ski that you get the radius on it. So I'm just using a piece of sandpaper under the file and a good file. Maybe I should use this as well. Oh yeah, before you tune the brand new ski, move the plate and the binding. Don't do it with plate and binding because I'll show you afterwards why. It's not funny when you hit always the fingers on the plate or on the binding. So, and you do it just one time normally, and then you gotta really fine sidewall or also on the base side. So just a good file, cut it down a little bit. It doesn't matter when you, at this point when you come in the base, doesn't matter. I'll show you guys later. Just where the contact points.
You're doing 1 degree on that, you said?
No, just more. Just more. That's a feeling wise.
Yeah. So that's why you don't use the tool versus using the sandpaper?
Yeah. So I know just a little bit more. And then that's the only time I'm using a sandpaper and going over it is when I'm doing a brand new pair of ski. So, sandpaper. Don't use the water sandpaper, so use the dry one, because the water ones, they are built to work with water. They don't cut that good than the dry ones. So they cut good with water, but they don't cut that good without water than the dry ones. So that's why I'm using a 400. And where I cut it down a little bit, I polish just a little bit more. So like I go over it and here as well. And then when you want to make it really perfect, and you put a layer of towel on it, then you don't scratch the base. But anyway, you don't scratch it because you have feeling. Then I'm rounding the
structure in this brand new skis, or are you using the structure from the factory?
The thing is, I got the skis and I tell them what structure I want. So they came out and
So that's your structure.
No, I told them. So doing this. But you can use. That's also a point talking about regrinding skis. When you got a brand new pair of ski, the glue is still works a little bit, and that's why it fell down a little. So Makes no sense when you get a brand new pair of ski and you checked and they said, it's not that good. Go over the machine. I would say go skiing first. Try to bring them a couple times on snow and grind before the really race training begins. So in October, I don't know when you guys starting with training, but in October, at least it makes no sense to grind a brand new pair of ski going to Mount Hutt, and you have to regrind them because there's a lot of dirt in there or a lot of stones in there. Okay, then come back, then maybe you go another place and have to do the same shit again. And then if the winter starts, the skis are done. So we are normally doing okay. We are maybe on a better side because we have quite a lot of pairs to change. But what I'm doing is trying to come over the New Zealand and Chile camp, and when the preseason, the race training starts, then I have fresh grinded skis. So that's my thinking about them. Adam, agree?
So really minimal. Well, minimal. You don't have to grind it over it.
Yeah, makes no sense. Because anyway, that's what I said before. The ski is running. Sometimes it runs better after a refresh grind, but the ski need time to. So, and if you hit something in the basic day, then you have to. But in average, try to grind it just right before the really race training starts. And after a short break afterwards, we talk about race prep. Makes no sense to talk race prep or training prep. It should be the same. All the skis where you're using in training are the same than in the race day. So just the difference is kind of wax what you put on. But tuning wise, should be the same. It makes no sense to tune a training ski every 6 or 7 days. And the race, then after 2 days skiing, no chance to come down the hill because he has no grip, or she has no grip. And the race ski is sharp. So tuning, always the same style, always, just what I said. The only difference is race legs. So and why I'm cutting this down? Because when you hit, so I know the kids, I know every racer, and I know Ted as well, they couldn't walk like this or like this. They always and then if you cut it down a little bit, then it's way better. Especially if you see it when you start scraping and there are some nose stains up or some hanger out there. Every scraper is damaged. So that's why I'm cutting down. And before I start waxing, I'm going over it again, just 1 or 2 passes, and then you have always you don't have a scratched iron and you don't have damaged scrape. So I'm rounding the tip and tail. What I did now. So you guys see, round it out a little bit. 100% all by hand. I'm using the Snow Glide. What? The Snow Glide. familiar with that.
Style of trim disc, like the disc band, letter stack, it's the same sort of setup. Yeah. Only about a couple more $1,000 more though.
You have the Premiere model on that, I think, right? I saw you're on. I saw it on YouTube or something. You have that one that holds the angle, the snow bright thing.
Yeah.
You have the best one, right?
Yeah, I have the best one. I have, yeah. So there are a couple of different machines. Adam is working with the Carrot. That's a good one. And yeah, I like the easiest handling wise is for sure the snow glider, I would say, because you have the skis flat and the snow glide moves over the base. But the other guys are using the Trioni or the Twin disc.
That snow glide has got some results though, so.
Yeah.
It didn't have that one. You just file and then use stones.
Sure, that's enough. A lot of technicians are
Still do it.
yeah, more are filing than with the machine. And right now it looks like that even more guys switching back to hand filing. And at least it's healthier than with the machine.
Yeah, it's better.
So much dust around. And when you're smoking and snow gliding, that's not. That's why I'm not snow gliding, just smoking.
Is there certain decks that like the ceramic finish for one day, the hand file and stone finish for another?
You mean event-wise?
Yeah, like
Yeah. It looks like that the speed guys are more and more going back to hand filing. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, speed guys are. The thing is, that's for sure, when you go on a snow glide, it's sharper. It's a nicer cut than a hand file. And snow glide is cutting down. So like when you have the marks in the edge like this, and on a file you have the marks this. It could be that when you have the marks like this, that's more aggressive. That's maybe why the speed guy is going.
The longer pull
Yeah.
of the file.
I tuned all the time by hand until I switched to Ted, or he switched to me, and then he said, "You're using the machine?" I said, "No, I'm filing." Yeah, but my old technician is using the machine. I said, "Okay, that's right." And since then I'm using the machine. The good thing with the machine is at least the edge is holding way longer sharp-wise, and you can use the ski at least so that the cut is, the edges are holding way longer. The thickness from the edges are holding way longer because it's just more or less polished and not cut in away. So you can at least go 2 seasons with one pair of ski, what you couldn't do when you filed. So just normal Scotch Brite.
take the plates off and put the glue back in? Re-glue your,
No. No, I don't glue it. Just make sure. Anyway, I don't have normally the plates on my lattice keys, so there are no holes in it. I got this keys without the holes. I tell this guy you have to grind this keys with this base bevel and this kind of the grind, and then I tune this keys, and then I start. When this keys is already tuned, then I start mounting the plate and guiding on. So, but also when you move, when you're working without a plate on it, just when you grind this keys, just cover the holes with tape, and then it's fine. And when you mount the plate again, just take care that nothing is in there. Best way is just with air pressure a little bit, but then you're fine. You don't have to glue it. Because a lot of glues are with water-based material, and then they have the same effect than without the glue. So more or less, it's even worse because you put some water in there, and at least liquid is liquid. If you want to make sure that nothing goes in, just put a little bit of wax on it, like we did in the old days. Just rub a little bit of wax on it, and that covers the hole for the liquid. You did it. So that's it. I put this one on it. That's like a cleaner and makes the sidewall a little bit smoother, and the ice didn't stick on it. Cleans better when you wax this piece, so that the wax didn't stick that hard on it. So like you know that. You can use a silicone spray as well if you want, but just make sure when you do the silicone spray, put it on a towel. Don't put it right on the sidewall, because if you have silicone on the base, the wax didn't hold up. Any questions until here? Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Good job.
So if you don't go to the level of taking a plate off of the ski to get that, quite as smooth, it would just be the best you can. Because I mean, obviously, junior kids and stuff don't need to go to that extent.
Yeah, you have to take care when you go over it. That's very important. You do it slow and not too much pressure. So you don't have to polish it. If a kid on the kids level makes no sense to polish it like this. But if you cut it down, try to make it smooth, and maybe spend a little bit more time on this, but cut it down and don't go too deep with the S-class, then it's fine. But anyway, just go over it with a Scotch Brite afterwards and cut all these hairs away, then it's fine. That's perfect. And you have to take care when you're using a ski with an ABS sidewall. I don't know if it still exists, but we have it in our production skis. That's the softer material. That's totally different to work than Vino. Totally different. When you go with the S-Cast, and you have if you hit that, you have no chance to make it smooth again. So try it on a part of the ski where the easiest way is always try it over here and not starting in the middle. So
Your side bevels from the factory usually ask for like 3s and 4s.
Matt, what's the side bevel factory we got? 3. I don't know what we are. We are getting.
You get more.
No, we
I don't get anything.
we got maybe 2. Maybe 2. We do it all by hand.
So slow through GS, everything's coming out 3 out of the factory.
Yeah.
So you don't use that machine to set that sidewall.
No.
You do that by hand and then finish it.
Yeah.